I'm a super frugal person, and that's because of my mom and my dad. I don't do laundry from 4 to 9. Those are peak hours. I don't use air conditioning.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. We're talking to you guys about Benny and talking also about Morgan. And I'm saying I think Benny's constriction on finances could be a trigger for Morgan down the road of this relationship. I think Benny's got a tight rope when it comes to how he spends his money. And I believe this could also cross lines with Morgan, who wants to have independence, freedom, and control. Those two things are going to clash inevitably. So if you want to hear more of my thoughts, like it, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because the streets out there, they are hot. All right, let's not waste much time, but let's get back into the video and talk some more.
I don't use the heater. I just open the window. My frugalness does, to a certain extent, dictate relationships.
So his frugalness, as he said himself, begins to dictate relationships, and this is where the struggle is going to be, because we heard Morgan quite clearly say she likes her independence, her freedom, and the control. Well, freedom and control are going to be at odds here, because his freedom to want to save money and be frugal is going to interact with her freedom and need for control within the relationship, and him accepting her for where she is. I really do believe that, as well, she has got to deal with the mummy issues. That's another thing. But this financial aspect could be a really big area. We heard him say, obviously, he will give his girlfriend stocks instead of actually giving them what they actually desire as a gift. Now, I just want to let you know, as a love language, when you're trying to give somebody something, yes, of course, the thought counts. But if they ask for something specific and you give stock is not really a present. Stock is your thought of just you giving them something. It doesn't actually necessarily tie into what we see. Well, I shouldn't say what it ties into. It doesn't necessarily correlate with what the person actually wishes and wants as well. And so therefore it actually can still miss the mark. I mean, what is stock? Is stock a gift? I mean, to the person who is involved in that, someone who loves finances as well, just like you do, investment just like you do, then yeah, it makes sense. But as a general consensus, of stock as a gift might not be the best thing. Now, it might make you money. It might make you money, but it won't take you to where you want to be, So yeah, I'll be honest with you, it's not the best thing to be doing. I mean, the way he behaves in terms of that financial aspect, I can see that being a big clash for her. Number two, I think also as well, the fact that he's a mummy's boy is going to be a clash for them too, and a trigger. And the reason why I say it'll be a trigger, because she mentioned not having a great relationship with her father earlier on. And I think she can go either one or two ways. She can see his mummy boy behavior and actually want to control him and think to herself, well, I've got control over him. I can dominate him, and that makes me feel safe. But she can also go the other way, which is she completely rejects that, because it's like, this is weakness. I don't feel protected. I don't feel like you're covering me. And therefore she can reject that mummy boy image. Or she can just really love it, you know what I mean? And be cool then, she gets on with it. But whenever we see mummy's boys, it doesn't really end well. You know what I mean? It rarely ends well. So I think that can also be a trigger for her, because remember, she spoke about not having a great relationship with her father. And for the past year or so, we don't know however long it's been, but to then experience a man who may not potentially have that secure, strong, sturdy, stable kind of energy may also throw it off, because the mummy's boy energy is one that is dependent upon the mum. That's why you share information, like he said at the end with the boys, about how he would joke around. And he said, "Oh, I'll tell you boys first, and I'll tell my mum after." It's a joke, but it's real, because you have those blurred lines, which is my next point about one of the other triggers. So other trigger could be the competition for a place in Benny's heart could be a very big trigger, because let's really deep it here. A woman or a man wants to be your significant other. They want to be your special other. They want to be your partner. They want to be the only one. They don't have to be competing with another person, especially one that's your family member. Like, that's your family member. They're always going to be, why am I competing with them? I can't compete with them. They're your family member. You know what I mean? So the mere fact that we have Ben, being a mummy's boy, there could be a clash between the mum and Morgan. And Morgan being a competitive, I don't take any crap kind of nonsense. This could also be a trigger in terms of there being warfare in the relationship. And we saw a little bit of this. I say saw a little bit of this, but we've seen how family can trigger particular things, right? We saw Zach from 2 seasons ago being a bit of a mama's boy, and now we're seeing Ben as a mama's boy as well. And mama's boys have mummy bears, and mummy bears can be a little bit intrusive in their child's lives. So I think this could also be an area of contention and trigger for Morgan as well, going down the line of this relationship as well. I think, adding on to that as well, his immaturity could be a trigger because she's been through certain mature events. We heard her say that, she suffered depression, was going through some tough times. And then, she spoke to her mom and she waded through those moments and she grew out those moments and grew strong in those moments. Immaturity may also feel like she's going backwards, she's regressing and she's receding rather than going forward. That could be a trigger, especially when you've come from out of that place. You're like, no, I'm not getting dragged back there. And this can also be an area of contention because it may not be that he's dragging her back there, but the feeling and the sentiment and the energy could make it represent that she's going back there again. So she may feel some type of way about that as well. We know she's a strong individual woman and an independent woman, but she may not want to have that feeling of her going back once more again. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these two are going to really make it work. I think there will be some triggering moments. I really do. I think there will be some times where they're going to step on each other's toes in a particular way. And in terms of their trauma, I think that's where we're going to see some of the madness between the two of Morgan and Ben. But again, they may be a great couple as well. They may do. But I just see those particular issues for Morgan being a triggering moment for them. She also said she wanted a man to initiate sex. Does he give you the impression he's going to be initiating sex? Does he give you the energy that he's going to be pushing for that? It doesn't look like that. But maybe when he gets comfortable, he might do that. I don't know. But for me at the moment, looking at it, I don't feel I get that narrative that he will do that. But again, he may surprise us. Let us know your thoughts down below as well, guys. Would you guys think that he's going to be able to provide the safety, protection, and provision that she is going to require? Or do you think she's also going to fight that establishment because she wants independence? She mentioned about how all the fellas recently have met her, and because of her fighting, they get intrigued, and then they get to know a bit more, and then they're like, oh, I don't know if this really works for me, because she's so independent. Now, I think that independence could be great. It's amazing. She makes her own decisions. She does her own thing. But I think also it doesn't promote unity. And that could also be a problem for our boy here. For our boy, what's his name now? Ben as well. So what we're talking about his particular triggering on the next video as well. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. Let me know your thoughts down below.